What's up, everybody? It's Anthony Rosa, Mr. Remedy, and you are watching another show on the Roundtable Remedies. And tonight we got a really great topic to talk about, and we have some legends on the show. So I just want to give you guys a chance to say hello and speaker rotations, kicking us off. What's going on, Charlie? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Anthony? Great to have you. Great to be here tonight. Hope you guys are doing well. Rico,
Yeah,
Michael. Yeah.
for sure, for sure. And then next in speaker rotation, we got the legend, Mike Ciccarelli. What's up, Mike?
What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Nice to see everyone.
How
Let's
you
have a good
doing?
show.
It's good to have you on, Chick. And
Thank
then
you.
anchoring us in for the night, we have a special guest appearance with his second time on the show, Mr. Rico King. Rico, welcome. Peace.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Let's get it popping.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about self-care is the best care. And Roundtable Remedies was created to inspire, connect, and educate you from real people, real stories. And hopefully by the end of the show, you're going to get some remedies. And we're talking about self-care. So if you're watching on the live, we want to engage with you and we want you to engage with us. So hashtag live. And if you're watching us on the replay, give us some love, hashtag replay. So just to kind of jump right in, self-care is the best care. Charlie, please talk to us. What does a day look like in the life?
Well, thanks for asking, Anthony. I'll tell you, it really depends with my kind of schedule. So, I mean, I do a couple different things. If I work in a hospital sometimes a few days a week, and I'm on the night shift, so that could really vary. But normally when I'm off and I'm just in a regular routine, I like to get up first thing in the morning and kind of, do a stretch. And I have non-negotiables, right? So some of these non-negotiables are things you wake up to in the morning. And, listen, not everybody can get them done every single day, but it's important to know that if you make the effort and you celebrate that, like, hey, I did this today. You know what I'm saying? We focus a lot of times on what we don't get to do and what we haven't done for the day, but let's focus on what we actually did accomplish. So I try to get up. I try to make like a morning salutation, if it's meditation, and just kind of spiritual, just thanking the Lord above that I'm alive today and I'm upright, and those are the things that I start out with. And then, I look at what I have to do for the day and kind of prioritize.
With some of those non-negotiables you're talking about with stretching, is there anything, because for me, I have back issues, right? And so it's a non-negotiable for me. I don't know about you guys, Rico and Mike, but just to kind of stretch and get those cracks in. Charlie, what are some of those stretches that you like to do?
So I feel you on the back pain. I deal with sciatic pain pretty regularly, and I call it sciatic pain, but it may not actually be because it's not clinically, it's not clinically diagnosed. But I'll do kind of like a figure four type where I'll rest one leg over the other, okay, like almost like a half cross leg, and I'll
Got it.
I'll stretch my back up straight, pull the knees toward me, and just really try and stretch that performance muscle that's on the back side of your leg. So that
I think Mike is trying it right now as we speak.
Yeah, right. But if I do that
I'm
and
thinking
I
about
do
it.
both sides, because you got to be even with both sides, right? Then I'm less pain. There's like, I would say, would you call it instant relief? So it actually does alleviate a lot of pain. And just, basic other kind of stretching as well. I do wall sits, that kind of stuff. If I lay down on my back and I bend my knees up and bring them up above my chest, I do one where I push my right leg down, but holding resistance with the right hand, and then try to lift the other one upwards by pushing down and holding
Good
resistance.
pressure.
Right, and then you do that for 20 seconds on each side, And then what you do is you take both your fists and you put them in between your knees and you squeeze your knees together and it will pop and reset.
Mm,
It'll reset you a bit. Yeah. And
Like
I'll get a pop every time. May not be big, but it's just enough. And
I
that
might.
really does the trick sometimes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, right down the middle.
Yep.
like a butterfly,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Like you're doing butterflies. Basically, you're putting your legs together, you spread it down, and you're stretching your to butterfly. Yeah,
Well, if
very
you're
good.
laying
I
on
was just gonna say
if you're
that.
laying on
Very
your
good.
back and you bring your knees up like this, so your legs come this way, but your knees are
Yeah,
here and your body's like this. So it's like a
yeah,
big S, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
So with your medical background, what do you do at the hospital?
So I'm a registered respiratory therapist. I help people breathe. I save lives one breath at a time. Yeah. So I deal with ventilators. I deal with intubating people, breathing treatments, just basically helping these patients and giving those treatments. And there's a lot of different things where emergently, we get people that come into trauma in the ER, things like that, or chronically ill people. So I deal with a myriad of different types of people out there that have different kinds of ailments. But it's gratifying. I've been doing it now for a little over 12 years, and I really like it. And
So
otherwise,
with your
yeah,
background in respiratory, right? I
yeah,
feel like sometimes if we're too tense and we're not taking enough deep breaths,
yeah,
from your experience, we're talking about self-care.
right.
How can someone just automatically, I don't want to say relieve themselves, but kind of take the pressure down or reduce it just by the way they breathe? What are your thoughts?
I highly recommend people to actually try. Let's say they don't have actual respiratory issues. Well, we'll just go talk about the breathing. So breathing's super important, right? A lot of times people walk around very tense and they're just holding everything in, but they need to really focus on breathing. I mean, I recommend to a lot of people to actually go on and find breathing techniques that will help alleviate stress. Sometimes all it takes is a really good deep breath and just like like almost like a bear down, and just and then you're holding it and then releasing, right? But releasing it all the way out. Okay, and that's going to really help, to just let it go. It's
Yeah.
it's a mindset thing, right? So get yourself in the mindset that you're
Let's try that right now. Let's try what?
okay. We take a deep breath in, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Big hold, and we're going to breathe out and we're going to blow it all the way out, right?
Yeah.
And you do that. You're going to repeat that several times, okay? And with each time you tell yourself, okay, letting it go, letting it go. So just like
Mm.
Frozen, let it go, let go all the stress. It could be you're in a room all by yourself, yell, take in that big deep breath and just let it out and yell. That's going to also alleviate a lot of stress. People,
That's why.
people, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Nah, I have a test. I have a problem of just doing that to people. I'm sorry. It's just like my
No, that's
mentality.
No,
okay.
jump in, Mike. What were we gonna say?
I was gonna piggyback off your
Well, go ahead. Yeah.
of your oh, I forgot already. Go. So I forgot. I forgot. I forgot.
We were talking about the
It's okay.
breathing and the
So
screaming and letting it out and letting it
Oh,
go.
with okay. So like they say, it's good for babies when they cry because let them cry because it lets everything out. It lets the stress out.
Correct.
It lets the tears out. It lets their
mm,
vocal cords start adjusting. It lets everything
Yep.
start flowing. Because I'm
Yep.
usually
that's
like,
true.
pick them up. Then
Yeah.
now I'm like,
It's
let them cry. Let them cry.
super important. Right.
Rico,
Mike,
what?
Anthony, I just wanted to tell you one thing really quick.
Yeah.
One exercise that recently I went on a business retreat to Mexico with
Okay.
my coach had a get together,
What part of Mexico?
We were in Playa del Carmen in the jungle, so we were off the grid. It was great. Like
Oh,
we really challenged ourselves and really
I want to
immersed
go.
ourselves in a lot of different things. And we had several meditational and breathing exercises that really helped you to release a lot of tension and anguish. And listen, everybody has something going on with their lives, right? And things that are just building up inside. And how do people release? Well, some of these breathing and meditations that we did were just really exceptional, because you just got into it and you just released by yelling, and whatever you
Getting a
felt,
phone
that you
call.
could just get rid of it and push it out, you know. So some things like that are very, very important to have.
What's it called? Rico, do you do some of those breathing exercises regarding like for some of the work that you do, does that help you, or some of those screaming exercises even that Charlie's talking about? What are some of your thoughts or experience with that?
Well, yes. Mike, could you mute your self? No, not go away. I meant just mute yourself.
Uh-oh.
No, he's having a technical difficulty. He'll come right back.
Well, to answer your question, along the line of which Charlie said, yeah, breathing is very vital in my profession as a master of ceremony and MC. Vocal training is important. I'm not singing, however, I do need to have diaphragm control and breathe from there rather than project from my voice, especially if I'm booked for more than one job, back to back. So my
Absolutely.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I do these huge events all over the tri-state area, and my territory is Connecticut and upstate New York and Westchester. So as I'm traveling, that's my time before sound check to even visualize how that's going to look when I get there. So it's premeditated. It's all about, once I get there, get the mic in my hand for sound check, I've done small exercises in my commute there. Then I get to test it out in real time, and as the engineer gets everything adjusted. So yes, to answer your question, breathing is super important. They have the quick exercises. I'm sure you're familiar with those. It's the short bursts that also helps. That
Absolutely.
also helps
It's like when you're just on the edge and you want to say something to somebody that you really don't really want to say because you know it's gonna be bad. You just take a breath. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The pause is super important.
Absolutely. Pause is very key.
Definitely. Just, keeping your peace, right? Protecting your peace of mind. Just regarding self-care, right? Just not allowing myself to get to that point. And, I guess as men, it's really easy for us to cast that second stone, and when we're trying to protect our peace, it's kind of hard to do that when we don't have some of these coping methods or breathing exercises, and maybe we just were never taught. So for those that are watching, I hope that you're enjoying just our conversation around breathing exercises, around self-care, because every single day we have to practice this. And when you practice it every single day, it becomes a routine. And talking about routines, Charlie, how did you get into this good routine? Starting early, getting these stretches, doing the non-negotiables you were talking about. How'd you get into it?
Honestly, it goes back to having, sometimes we can't just do it on our own, and we need some help with that. How do we do that? As entrepreneurs, we have to find maybe a coach, right? A coach that can give you direction, can help you in areas of, self-care, and just motivation and business and things like that. So I aligned myself with a good coach, and he was able to really, I've been with him now for like 3 years, and he's really laid the groundwork for me in the last 3 years. I've really come a long way. As you can attest to, you've seen my weight loss journey. Like I went to, I went from weighing about, I don't know, 265 at one point. And,
Oh, wow.
I just got on the scale yesterday. I'm 205. So,
that's great.
has a lot to do with just staying in motion, staying, in action, watching what I'm eating a bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't starve myself. I don't restrict myself completely, because I feel that
Right.
if you restrict yourself, you tend to fall off. And then it's like just be good to yourself a little bit. You don't have to overindulge. Just be good to yourself a little bit, and you can make it happen. But it's consistency. So my coach laid that groundwork for me with meditation and how to reflect and journaling and putting all these different things together. In fitness and it really and spirituality. So when you lay the groundwork and you lay these all in line and put these all together, it's like one great big package.
Oh, that's
And
dope.
I think that makes a big difference. And you start to develop that mindset. And one of the biggest things is just surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded individuals that are positive, and stay away from negative people and things like that. And everything comes together for you. It really does.
And just for the viewers that are watching, sometimes when you ask the question about hobbies, um, it sounds good, right? Going to the gym, going on a walk on a trail. It sounds good, but just kind of getting started to do it.
Yeah.
It sounds better just to think about it and not do it
Oh
sometimes, right?
God, yeah,
So,
we
what are
overthink
some
it.
of the hobbies that you've created, Charlie, along the way?
Well, so like I grew up with ADD, so I'm like I have been all over the place for my entire life. So there's not anything. If you ask anybody that knows me, there's not nothing that I haven't done in life. I've done it all. But I think one of the biggest things that I really like to do is I like to create things. I like to build things, and projects. That's me because that's my self care. That's my therapy to myself.
Mm.
I'm able to separate myself from a stressful situation, or my time is that time. And so I'm going to put something together that I can show. I'm not about just going out and buying fancy frilly things and spending all my money, because I like to have something to show for what I've got, right? So
Hell yeah.
I build
Hell
things.
yeah.
Either that, or I create things where I've been big with fish my whole life, with fish tanks, things like that. I mean, I just built a 1,200-gallon koi pond in front of my house, and I did
Oh,
it
that's cool.
in 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like Fish Tank. You should be on that show from Long Island, dude. Those dudes.
yeah, right. Those guys.
They still have the show.
Absolutely. But yeah, all
Love.
kinds of projects, building stuff, remodeling my bathrooms,
I
things like
can't
that
do.
over the
I
years
can't
in my
do
house.
none of. I can't do anything. I can't do that.
No, no.
I'm
Have you
street
tried?
smart, bro.
Have you tried?
I
He's not.
put that. I put that
It's hard for
together. I
someone
put
that's
that
not as
together.
handy. Yeah,
Uh, Yeah,
I put some
that's
stuff together.
interesting. Hey, Mike,
yeah.
if you can mute your TV so we don't have some background noise for
Oh, you
people
hear
that are
that?
watching.
That's on low. You hear that?
Yeah,
Wow.
we hear
Oh
it.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
Charlie, you brought up a good point. I don't know how. I'm not a really hands-on guy, so it's
Me
I
either.
would try it, but it's not something that I've been exposed to in my daily. So it's really interesting. If
Yeah.
for those that have some really cool stress relievers and you're watching, I'd love for you to comment with some stress relievers right now. What do you do? Engage, like, comment, share. Let's
Mhm.
have some fun with it. Charlie,
Some
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. Stay on for
Mhm.
the final thoughts portion of the show. And you definitely gave a lot of remedies. We appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. I know some people actually sent me a couple messages here. They haven't, their comments were pending. So I don't know if there's something on your end that maybe you could check for them, or so.
Okay, yeah,
I
I'll
don't know
check
how to
it in a
check
minute. Yeah,
comment.
but
I see
just
my box
we'll
says
keep on
comments.
trucking.
Right on.
Chicorelli, talk to us. What does
Okay,
a
look.
day
How
look
about this?
like?
How about
Anytime I
this?
see
Look,
you,
look. How
you're
about this? How about this? Can we go to King first, and then I'll piggyback off them?
nah. What you changing it
You
mid
can't change
show live?
mid-show.
Are you
Come
bugging?
on.
Yo, you
Talk to me.
crazy.
Talk to me.
Hey, chick, what you're like? You're everywhere, dude. I see you with the dogs. I see you at different businesses. You're going live all the time. Like, what are you doing? What does a day look like?
You really want to know?
Yeah, well.
Wake up. No, I won't. No, I won't be. Disrespectful. But I'll be. Um, I get up. So, okay, long story short, once again, I had bad luck last year. I was hit on West Side Avenue. I was coming onto West Side Avenue, North Bergen, and a dump truck was coming out of West Side. I was in the left lane going into West Side to North Bergen. He was in the left lane and wasn't supposed to be, and he hit me. So I haven't been really doing anything, but I do get around. So I just want to get that out of the way. So I get up in the morning. Blue gets up. Is this what you want to hear, right? You want to ask me questions, or what do you got? What do you want to do? I don't, talk
No,
to me.
Chick. So I'm interested. We're talking about self care, right? So just to kind of recenter, for you, you may have some challenges. You talked about having some pain, going through some surgery. So, it might be harder, right? And from that pain, it could be frustrating. So, what do you do as far as on the mental side? How are you protecting yourself from the pain side? Self care.
The pain side, I met uh, my back is bad, and I just get up in the morning. Thing I get up, I take care of Blue. I feed Blue. Then I take
Talk to
Blue
me
out. We
about
go for
Blue.
a walk.
Who's Blue?
Blue's my dog. That's Blue. Blue's the king of
What kind of dog is
everywhere.
he?
He's a Blue Nose Rescue.
Oh, where'd you rescue him from?
I rescued him from Cliffside when the Cliffside was open at the time. 12 years
Mm.
ago. He's gonna be 13. He's my motivation. He's my motivation. If I didn't have him, I don't know, bro.
Mm.
Like I get up for him. I do what I got to do for him, and I just live my life. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, man. Uh, I get up. I like to have fun. I try to go to different places, like you said. I like to eat different foods. Uh, I like people. I like people, but I love animals. I want to start doing things for animals, maybe like get involved with the school system and maybe show the kids how to take care of a cat or a dog and just teach them like I'm not a professional, but it's just common sense. If you want to go rescue a dog and you don't think you have the time, but you really do. When you get up in the morning, get up an hour earlier, take your dog out for a beautiful big walk for an hour, come home, get ready, and go to school, go to work. And when you come home, you can take them for another walk for an hour. You feed them, you chill out with them, and the same thing. I want to get kids into that. Like I want families into that. And I think it's very important for children that they need to learn about society, back into society, not the phones. They need to learn, you know, how to play bottle caps, how to play chess, how to play, uh, you know, all this, all this different stuff that we used to do, flip cards maybe. These kids need to, pop out of the. I'm like a kid. I'm on the phone too all day. I really am. It's it's unbelievable. But like I like to eat like you said, and I take Blue out 2 3 times a day, and I know my back hurts, but I can't think about it, and I just keep going. I go to therapy, and I lost weight. I
That's
lost
great. So
what?
do you know what it takes for anyone that wants to get an animal certified to be kind of like, what would you call it, a service animal?
Yes, you have to take him to a school, or you go online, and then you take it from there, and you do a certain amount of hours. I believe for the rescue, you can also go to I think any um, adoption agency or any rescue agency, or maybe PetSmart or Pet Care or Petco, and maybe inquire with them. I really think
And
it's good for
so,
the what?
you talked about, and it hit home, right? It's like without Blue, sometimes you feel that you don't know where you would be. And Charlie, was that kind of how it was with your fish tanks and like your koi pond and like the animals that you keep around? Is it more of like a self-care kind of thing? Like, what do you think?
Well, one thing I learned a long time ago was about aquariums is they really can lower blood pressure by watching fish. And I've always been into that, even since a kid. And then when I actually learned that to be true, I kind of put two and two together. Like, how many times have you ever gone to an aquarium or something, just sat there and you're just looking at these fish and it's calming seeing
I
them just
love
gliding through
fish.
the water and stuff. You know what I mean?
True.
So I mean, my wife and I, we joke about it. We call it tart TV because you could just like sit there in front of the fish tank and just watch these fish go back and forth all night long, you know?
True.
It's funny. I on Netflix, on YouTube, for Elena, she's 3 months. I have like it's like I don't know, it's like with turtles and fish, and it's like really relaxing music, and you're just getting lost looking at the all the fish just, and I love it. I can work all day with that just as a screen saver in the back with the light classical music just going. It's so
Mhm.
soothing.
Nice. Yeah. Sometimes that's all you got to do. You know, you put music to it and that's makes it even better.
Rico, are you an animal lover? Do you own any pets?
Right, right. I did have a dog growing up. My sister's dog was a York. I have developed an allergy to to cats and dogs since then. But yes, to answer your
Oh,
question, I do. I've worked with them on set before. I did a Care.com commercial where I had to work with a dog named Matilda, and as long as it wasn't licking me in my face, we were okay. Just take the
Awesome.
Zyrtec, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Adopt,
oh
don't shop.
wow.
I
Adopt,
just
don't
lost,
shop.
I just lost my dog last week.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of them.
condolences.
oh
He
no,
was 12 years old. He
man.
was a boxer.
He's my aunt's boxer just died 10 years old. She has a gold thing. She has bro, he's
Yeah.
13.
He just died right in our arms.
God bless you, man.
Hey, so
Oh,
Ciccarelli, real quick, what are some of your hobbies for those that don't know? I know you love eating pizza. Who got the best pizza in Jersey that you've tried? You got to share. Who got the
Ooh.
best
so
pizza?
so listen, my mom's from Brooklyn. My father's from North Jersey, Elizabeth. I was back and forth all my life to Brooklyn here and there. I we're all different. We all have different taste buds. Like I don't speak for a lot of people. See, now you got me in a hard position because it's really hard to say who's got the. I'm going to tell you
Uh,
why it's hard to
What's your
say.
Come on,
favorite?
Chick, you're a legend. There's no
Favorite?
hard
For
positions for
me,
you.
Who's your
for
favorite pizza?
me, who's my favorite pizzeria?
Favorite pizza? Yeah.
Man, I can't really do that on here, man.
Why
Like
not?
Oh,
because I don't in North Bergen, I don't have a favorite pizzeria. I cannot lie to you
All
guys.
right, in Jersey,
come
just
on.
general in Jersey.
What?
What's
Old
your
school
favorite pizza?
Romas?
But
Palermo's?
see, but you have to understand something. I grew up on 64th Street, Roma Pete, Blue Flame.
Ah,
Hold
you
on,
didn't.
no, Blue
Yeah,
Flame and Perfect. But what they don't know, I've been going to Roma since I'm 5. When they were on 88th Street and back by De Palma, there was a pizzeria, and that's where they first were. Nobody
right.
knows that Roma was there. I'm
Wow.
50. I'll be 51. I've been going there since I'm like 5. So we used to stop at Hashways and then we used to go to Roma. But I grew up on Blue Flame and I grew up on Perfect. So, but let me tell you something.
Go tell us. Tell us.
It's hard, man. Okay.
So I like the bottom of my
I get
pizza a
nervous.
little
Like my
crispy.
throat,
I
my
don't
throat's
like
starting to get
soft,
hot, like I'm gonna have a
runny
stroke.
cheese with soft pizza. I like it a little
Wow.
crispy.
Got to have a good undercarriage, like Dave Prought
Come
might say.
on.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
like. I respect Dave now. He does a lot for the dogs, so I respect him. But before that, I didn't respect him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. And I like to. Well, you want to know what I like to do? I like to cliff jump off cliffs into water. I like to snowboard. I like to go like high places, and I like walking with dog. I like walking with Blue through the trails when he used to down in like Alpine down there by the by the river. It's beautiful. You can
Mm.
walk upstairs, downstairs. I walk a lot, man. Me and Blue sometimes walk 40, 50 blocks a day, but I got to slow down because his back right leg and the left leg, so I got to be careful. I lost 60 pounds. I was like I'm pre-diabetic and I don't want to lose no toes and shit, man, to be honest with you. And I lost people like, yo, you take that. And I'm like, what is this? I didn't know what it was. Like, I'm like, what's a Zempic? And I'm like, my mom takes that for sugar. Why would people take that to lose weight? So now these people addicted to Zempic. And I kind of like fast and I eat I really don't eat meat no more, to be honest with you. I really cut away from
Mm.
the meat. But if I do, I go to Hiram's. I can't lie. Like
Yeah.
I'll have like a hot dog or a hamburger, but I really don't eat meat no more, really. And so, but I drink some milk. I'm a big egg eater. Me and Blue, big egg eaters. I eat pizza. I'm a very strange eater. So now I like have cheese and I'll eat eggs for the week. And then like I'll go to Rudy's and I'll have like 4 cups in a row of like the Manhattan, the Rhode Island clam chowder. I don't know,
Mm.
man. I like to do a lot of things. I'm always on the go.
Mike, you like to eat out, but do you cook at all? Can you throw it down too? Put him on blast with that one.
Yeah.
I
Any chefs here, Rico? You a chef? Charlie, you throw it down?
I
I don't.
actually was the chef for a cook for many years. Like that was like the beginning of my careers.
So you
Was
want to wine and dine someone? What is your go-to Netflix and chill dinner?
that's tough because there's so many different dishes that I like to do. Um,
Okay.
but I think a really cool wine and dine chill is like a beef Wellington with a cheesy fried puff potato and grilled asparagus with some hollandaise on there.
I love
And
asparagus.
a nice
Yo, what?
Asparagus
and a
seasoned.
nice Bordeaux or nice Cabernet.
Ooh.
I
Rico, I
never
saw
liked
I saw you
asparagus.
going,
Fire,
taking it
fire,
back.
Now I'm taking notes
fire.
over here. That's the panty dropper recipe.
Oh hell yeah!
In the crock pot. Yeah, slow cook.
Oh yeah, and the slow cook.
I can already see you creating the environment where they walk into that aroma and instantly, oh, I can get used to this. I can hang out. Yeah,
You know, it's funny. I created a dish for somebody that I was seeing at one time, and I actually named it after her. But it was a shrimp dish, and it had like sambuca in it, and sun-dried tomatoes, and shrimp, and I did a nice rice pilaf with it. Like it
Bro,
was like and
that's
sautéed
killer.
spinach, and put that right over sautéed spinach, and it was the bomb. And
now
it was
I have a question for Charlie.
Bro, my mother makes that, and that's not even a joke. What you just said, my mom makes it.
no shit, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Not the asparagus. She makes that, but she makes the shrimp, the sun-dried tomatoes with the oil,
Uh-huh.
with the
Uh-huh.
cream, with the
Uh-huh.
creamer.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
What's your
I might
question,
like.
Rico?
Yeah, Charlie, would you consider this cooking a form of self-care for you?
Oh,
That's a great
that's
question.
another big therapy. Like I honestly, part of my therapy, I love being in the kitchen and cooking. So I'll lay everything out, and I'm one of those guys that cleans up at the end. A lot of people like to clean as they go,
As they
and
go.
I look like a whirlwind just went through the kitchen.
Sometimes I
You know what I'm saying?
clean as I go.
And set it up.
Yeah.
But then I throw on my Frank Sinatra, and I listen to Frank Sinatra while I'm cooking, and that's the magic, baby, right there. Just
Incredible,
making magic. Yeah.
That's the magic. Well, hey, you guys if you're watching, staying tuned, you're getting some gems. We're talking about self-care here. And wow, the greatest thing is you can always go back on the replay and just watch this again because there's too much remedies, too many remedies. This is fire.
I forgot.
What's up, chick?
I forgot it. I forgot something else I do, and it's because my grandmother. She lived till she's 98, and she always loved birds, and I feed the birds, and I feed the birds. I love watching the birds, and I caught the cardinal the other day. I posted it. You saw it? I got like 2,000 views. So I'm very like. So hold on, listen. Hold on. I can't look. Hold on. You gotta hold. Oh man, I knew this was gonna happen. Hold on, Aunt. Hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, and another thing too, I posted 2 birds flew in my house the other day. 2 birds. Wait, hold on. Damn, I can't do it. I look like a
Oh
fool.
my God.
Can't do it.
What bird sound are you trying to do, chick? Are you trying to do a cardinal? Not trying to do cardinal?
I just whistle. just like that, and I just do it outside, and
They call right back to you, don't they?
it's too different. I make sounds up, and I go, not bad, not bad. That's my therapy too, actually.
Okay.
I'll go and walk. I'll go like shopping. And I'll go, and people be like, "What?" I'm like, I swear to God, I'm like, and they're like, I'm like, I'm like,
Hey, Mike, it was a privilege and a pleasure just having you on, talking
oh
about some of
yeah,
your hobbies, letting people, hear and see a different side of you
oh
that they
yeah,
didn't know. You're a bird lover, an animal lover, and definitely trying
love,
to inspire
love.
the youth. I think that's amazing. And you left us kind of hungry over here with this conversation about food. It's a little bit late over here, so we can no late night snacking. But thank you so much, Mike. Don't go
Thank
nowhere. Stay
you,
on for the final
thank you
thoughts portion
guys,
of the
man.
show.
Thank you guys for
And
having me, man.
I'm
Thank
super
you for doing
excited.
what you're doing. Thank you for working in the hospital. I just want to say quick, my aunt's a nurse anesthetist, a nurse practitioner, and she's been through the system. And it was really hard during the virus, whatever it was. But
Yeah, the
she,
pandemic was tough
and
on
I
all
know
of
where
us.
you guys were, and I know a lot of you guys were lost, and just want to thank you for
Thank you.
that. I'm out.
I
I'm done.
appreciate that.
I'll watch you guys. I'll put on mute.
Now I get the privilege to bring on our anchor for the night, Rico King, you know, who's been so consistent. And Rico, I've told you this on the last time you were on the show. You have definitely been a mentor to me. Just being consistent in your goals, always writing things down and leaving notes in your house, and just you've constantly motivated me. And you look at that. You just show you keep it real. It's right next to you. I'm gonna try something real quick because before you come on, I just want to gas you up a little bit, showcasing some of your work. Hold on, let's see if this works, if you don't mind. I had to go on YouTube, of course, and pull up something. Charlie and Chick, if you didn't know, our boy Rico King, he's a celebrity.
No, Anthony, what are you about to do, man?
Come on now, hold on. Let's see if this goes through. Let's see.
Oh,
At Emblem House, when we say we mean we're here to cover the moments that change your life.
Wait,
The appointments
what?
that let you know her first steps are right on time. And all the things that get
Yeah, that's
and
our
keep you
boy.
healthy,
Emblem
like
Health.
yoga and nutrition classes. Because at Emblem Health, it's not only your coverage that means everything to
yeah.
us.
Let me do you one better,
It's
Anthony.
your
Oh, okay. You want to
Go.
do a screen share?
No,
Yo,
are
I
you on
saw
We
this.
YouTube?
mean
Are you
I
on
saw
YouTube?
that. I
Yeah, I'm
see
on
that.
YouTube.
Hold on, Michael. Go to R King 6312.
R King 6312.
All right, and click on
I see that.
Reel.
I see that commercial.
All right, let me see what you see.
All right, let me do this.
I'll show you where to click.
Oh, that's
Let me
awesome,
do
man.
this.
Now that
Screen
I
share.
understand what you're doing, let me help you.
Don't put me on the spot.
Here you go.
It's coming up. All right, go to let's see here. Type in R King 6312. All right, click on my channel. Go into my channel. Yeah, there you go, right there. Yep, click there.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
All right, and go to that first video, 122. That'll help you out.
Wow, that's so cool, man. Wow. Here's Rico. Rico, come on out.
There you
Wow.
go.
When you call, Peachtree listens and helps you get the cash you need now.
Did that just happen
Perhaps
on
to
its
start a
own?
business or pay down debt.
That's how you play the game.
There you go.
Are you Jackie
Wood.
Robinson?
That's me.
What was it like?
And the rest is history.
Woo!
The Mac Daddy.
Yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Wow, bro. Wow.
Look at this celebrity.
It's fun.
Was it?
Mhm.
I'm glad you had a good time.
So we had to do a tribute, for our boy Rico King, of course.
Hell yeah, bro. I seen
We
him
had
on
to do a
Monster,
Absolutely,
tribute.
bro.
yeah.
Come on now,
Hell yeah, bro.
Rico.
I appreciate it, man. I started commercials around 2012 and going into the entertainment business, as you know, out of working at Radio Shack and Sprint and Eddie Bauer. I would dream about this stuff that I do now professionally. And it's just been a heck of a journey. But to stay on topic with everything we're discussing, a lot of that accelerated success I had came from putting a new spin on the way I was thinking. It was a paradigm shift in my mindset. So I had to go from relying on someone else to customize my life and having a boss to becoming a boss and taking the entrepreneur route, as Charlie said, and Michael is as well. I think all of us are in our own right. So I just stepped out on faith and began diving into books, surrounding myself with like-minded people, as we discussed, people who were in life where I wanted to be. And I just got around them and became a student. I just remained in a student posture until I was able to gather enough information and figure things out in my own unique way, because the information wasn't it. It wasn't going to do it for me. It was the application of what I learned. Because so some people say knowledge is power, but it's really the application of the knowledge that you attain that gives you the power. So I was very eager to get out there myself and fail forward. And I'm glad that I did, because as you see, I mean, in the recap, a lot has happened since now and then. And in between that space that we've grown a lot, haven't we?
Wow,
That's great.
bro.
So Rico, talk to us about what does it look like in the day for you
It's a great
to be
question.
in your shoes.
Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about it when you shared the questions with us in the chat in advance. And it's really mundane and boring, but that's what gets me to where I am today, by falling in love with the process of this, just the fundamentals, the basics, marry the basics, and getting up early so I can get a head start on things. My day usually starts around 6 a.m. My alarm is set for that, and I honor myself by getting up at that time and starting off with a devotion, a daily devotion. I sit in peace. I have this one right here by a guy named Rick Warren. It covers a year of devotions, daily devotions
Is that
today.
purpose driven?
Yeah, man. You know about this book?
Come on, dog. That's a great book.
Okay, so we're on the same page. That's good stuff, man. March 7th, right?
Yeah. Read son.
So this one, March 7th, talks about Proverbs 12:26. The title says, God gives advice through other people, and the godly give good advice to their friends. The wicked lead them astray. One of the things I have highlighted in here in the beginning, it says, God speaks to you through friends and family, particularly if they are believers. We all have blind spots. You have things in your life you're never going to see that need to be corrected. So God puts people around you to tell you the truth, and that's what's been pivotal to me, is have people who will tell me what I need to hear, not just what I want to hear. And when you create a community of people like that, that shows you the right way to do things and have good morals and good values, and they're congruent with those. They're actually living those out. They're not being hypocritical and like saying one thing, but they're actually walking the walk. That helps you elevate and raise your standards to become better. So everything for me is about progression, not perfection. I'll take progression over perfection anytime. So having people like that in the tribe of people to really lean in on, and not my own understanding, because in the good book it says don't lean on your own understanding, and I know only a fool counts as himself. So I'll find people who really have the knowledge and that there's good fruit on the tree, then they're producing good results in their life, because I want to be that for someone else, and I've been able to do that over time and open up doors for people in the same way that they've been opened up for me.
I'd like to play off that, Rico. That's a great thing what you just said, and having not relying on ourselves, but other people in our lives. And I surrounded myself with people that are spiritual, that are, basically they're religious, and they are, they relish in the joy of their faith. And I love being around people like that, because, and it's not about, who's preaching what. It's just about that togetherness and, that common ground that you have, that, that there's, something above, someone above that's, that's directing us, that's, ever present in our lives. And we share that. And it's great sharing with other people, that experience. Yeah. So I agree. That's awesome.
Thank you, Charlie.
Rico, you said something, progression over, say that again?
Yes, progression over perfection. There's only one perfect being, as many of us call it, the universe, but us that are tapped in, we know what the real deal is. So
Right.
for us,
Chick, you wanted to say something?
For us to emulate that, we can get close only by becoming at least 1% better each day. That's what I tell people to strive for, because there's a compound effect to that. Whenever you do just at least 1%, we all can do something to push the needle forward at least 1%. There's a good book I want to recommend by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect. And it talks about doing just that, making an effort to do 1% better each day, because over time that compounds. So you do that over a year, you're going to be 365% better than you were.
Imperfect action. No, seriously, imperfect action is better than inaction.
There you go. There you go. You can't steer a parked car, right?
I'm coaching varsity football now, and I always say there's no such thing as perfect practice, right? You can't be perfect, but you can always replay what you're doing and try to be perfect at each play. So perfect practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect.
Practicing perfection.
Yes, perfect practice makes perfect.
Practicing perfection makes perfect.
I like that. Yeah, and it's also called just striving for excellence. How about that?
Yep, absolutely.
Like they say, we have a saying in the back gym: winners never quit and quitters never win. So,
right.
Let me ask you a question, King.
Yeah, what's up, my man?
So, you worked in the retail stores and Radio Shack and Eddie Bauer, and you're growing up, you're working. What made you just make this right turn instead of the left? Why'd you go right? Why'd you say, oh man, did you see commercials? Like, I want to be in a commercial, just commercials. I want to be a commercial guy. Or are you going further? What do you want to do? Like, what is your goal? Do you want to be just commercials? Do you want to go further? Do you want to be just a regular commercial guy and live a normal life? Do you want to be somebody that wants to make a lot of money? Do you want to be somebody who's going to be happy and do your job and be in commercials and make the right amount of money? Do you also, okay, can you answer me that first? And then I will have
That's a loaded question. I got a couple in there, Rico. The first one I got was, how did you go from left to right working, and then goal? How far you want to go?
Sure. It's in real.
Department store. He made the right. He went commercials and.
Yeah, totally. I get where you're coming from, and thanks for asking that. I'm actually doing all those things that you named. So it's not even a matter of anymore of can I do it? It's how long do I want to do it?
Okay.
So it shifted when I took that leap of faith, and the parachute had to open up on the way down, if you know what I'm saying. So it took a lot of losses, a lot of bumps and bruises on the way down, but it was worth it, because now I'm on the other side of what holds most people back, which is fear and uncertainty and fear of the unknown, fear that things won't work out. But for me, it was more like, I know God didn't bring me this far just to bring me this far. There's got to be something outside of this. So I would be at my POS system at Radio Shack, Anthony will tell you, at Sprint and these places I worked, dream building. I would have the actual internet open and a folder hidden inside of a folder, inside of another folder of things that I would actually purposely put in there to keep that dream alive. It was almost like a prison being in a 9 to 5 for me. Now, I'm not knocking jobs. I don't want anyone to think that when they listen back to this. I'm saying for me personally, as a dreamer, I knew that the dream was so big that I had to get out of there. It's like an oak tree being in a flower pot. Like I needed to break out of that so I could do the things that I'm doing now. So having that dream fuel me kept me going through all the no's, through all the naysayers and certain people you're going to meet in life. I had this conversation earlier today with a friend of mine I'm mentoring, Nasir. I know you're going to watch this later. What up, Nas? And he was saying to me, like, what do you say to the people who don't genuinely support you? And I had to just tell them, well, there's 3 stages of that. You know, there's first when you tell them and they'll say something similar to the effect of, oh, you're doing that. I know people who tried that before. That doesn't work. So it's important for you to stick with it so you can be the evidence. You can be the proof of that. But don't be defensive about it. Just understand that the dream is in your heart. It's not in theirs.
Not in theirs, yes.
So you can bring it to fruition to show them that it's possible. Now, the second stage of that, Michael, stay with me. The second stage is when you do cross paths with them again, and you did stay diligent and persistent in the pursuit of it. They're going to see you and it's going to come up in conversation because they're going to notice the difference in you, the things that you've been doing, the books you've been reading, the audios you've been listening to, the association that you acquired and earned. And they're going to start seeing a change in you. And they'll say, hey, by the way, you still doing that thing that you started early? And then you can speak from a point of strength and conviction and say, well, yeah, thank you for bringing it up. By the way, I am. And then sell it and then share some wins. But not to brag, but just facts. It's just facts because you stuck with something. So you should be proud of that. And also be mindful of this too, people. It's not about us. Be more interested than interesting. Meaning take the light off of you. If someone puts it on you, you put it back on them. Ask them about their wins too. So the conversation can still be healthy. Now, the third step in all of this is when you cross paths again with them, you won't have to talk about it because you'll have acquired so much success, whatever that may be, or wins in your life that they'll know. And they'll look at you and they'll say that classic line, which I've heard, and I love to share this with people. They'll say, you know what? I always knew you were going to make it.
That's awesome.
Something about you. Now, that's the point of reflection where you can actually sit back and think, oh, really, you did.
You touched him.
That's it. So that's really been the goal for me, to just stay steady. To answer your question, to tie it in, how long do I want to go? My success isn't measured by anything except for I'm the ruler of my success. Meaning I'm going to measure how long I want to stay in this, and when I'm done with it, I'll move on to something else. But it's not about how much I can acquire in the type of movies and commercials and stuff that I'm doing. It's about staying the course, and my character is built along the way, and I can help somebody else because
your industry is a tough one. I mean, it is tough. It's dog eat dog, and there's so many people out there that are doing the same thing that you're doing. So it's really tough, and I commend you for that, for sticking to your guns and actually, following through with your dream. I mean, what do you like? So I know Anthony probably want to ask you, but I don't. If he doesn't mind, I'll ask you. Like, as far as self-care goes for you, bro. Like, what do you like to do for yourself? Like, what makes you happy? Just
I took the question right out of my mouth, Charlie. Thank you so much.
I adopted something that I'd love to share with you guys, if I may. This jar right here is filled with Post-it notes.
Okay.
Post-it notes. So I'm at the beginning of the year in January is when I start this jar. I've been doing this for a few years now, And in it, I'll just read this to you. It says, this January, start the year with an empty jar. Each week, add a note with a good thing that happened. On New Year's Eve, empty the jar and read about the amazing year you had.
Wow, that's a great idea. Wow, that's prolific, man. I'm
So
gonna try that.
it started to change. It started to change the way I moved throughout my day. It was more purposeful because I wanted to find things that put in
That
the
was
jar
good.
that
Yeah,
were
yeah.
good.
I like that.
So my mind shifted and my heart shifted to how can I help somebody? How can I help somebody? So I find joy in being able to leave people better off than before they met me. So in a stranger, if I come in contact with someone, we're in 6 feet, I'm giving energy, I'm smiling. That may be something to help them throughout their day. We never know what someone's going through, right? So just at least a smile or a greeting.
But either way, you're still you're helping people regardless, and that's what makes you happy.
That's what I find joy in.
Okay.
Also, I call these walks that I take not just normal walks, but gratitude walks, because I feel like gratitude, being in gratitude in that state, is the best thing for me to be better, to become better of service to others. So when I take a walk at Liberty State Park, I call it my gratitude walk. If it's a nice day, I'll go for a jog. I'll go for a gratitude jog. Or if I feel like just booking and running it, I'll do a gratitude sprint or a gratitude run. But everything's in gratitude. And with each step, I'm more thankful. I'll say it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And you get on a roll with that type of stuff, you start to exude that. It builds your self-esteem and your confidence. And then you come across to people. It's just different, the way, the frequency that you vibrate on when you meet other people. There's something about that guy. There's something about him that I want to be around again. And it just feels good to be that person, because I know how it feels to have a person like that in my life. I said, man, I don't know what it is that you guys are doing, but I want to find out how to get on that and move like that instead of just being a wandering generality through life. I want to be a meaningful, specific, like how I'm experiencing you all. I want people to experience me like that. So I started to change my association, and I wrote in some notes here now that I know that it's a private chat, which no one will ever see that but us. But in this chat that I thought was public, it does say, surround yourself with the best to be your best. Birds of a feather flock together. You are the company you keep. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Who you choose to surround yourself with, the environment you decide to plant yourself in, has the potential to limit you or unlock you. And even in regards to your income tends to be about equal to the average income of the 5 closest friends you have. So don't hang around with broke people. You're gonna be broke.
That's it. You know.
Word. Gems, remedies, what?
Right?
Yo,
You
this is, self-care, but this is what it's all about. We're talking about self-care, and it's really, rewarding to hear everybody's different ways on how you protect your peace and how you fill that gap. Chick, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, it was just a short question. It was about his so I kind of, well, you're on a whole different level, buddy, but I did like some stupid things, like just a couple like local shows, and like, Gavon's Produce and Pizza Time, like, right, at all those shows. So
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
like do videos on Facebook, but like not for attention, but I got a ton of views. But I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Like, I'm like, I don't ask nobody for nothing, but I want you to. So I know a couple of families that have their kids in the business. What would you tell the kids? Like, what would you tell a parent of you doing this? And because you're older, and there's the parents that have these younger kids that are doing this, like you're doing commercials and everything. What would you tell a parent that has kids, multiple actually, what to do, or maybe what to look out for in this whole business while they're going to school and being a mom? What kind of advice, quick advice, can you give? Nothing long, just like a.
Yeah. Advice that I would give a parent to help their kid in the business. Is that, am I understanding correct?
Their kids are in the business actually.
Mm-hmm.
So that if this is going to go on Facebook, I know a couple of families that have their kids and do all this. What do you think? Like, and they're in grade school. So what would your outlook be on something like with the family and the kids and to keep
Yeah,
them motivated?
I would just give them the same guidance that I give my nephews. My nephews, CJ and Eli. What up, fellas? They're 8 and 6, and CJ's been working with me since he was 4 in the business as my son for things. And Eli, his brother, has now begun to acquire some credits himself. So he was watching his brother first do it, and then he got inspired and wanted to do it. So Uncle Rico introduced him as well. And I also took on a little girl under my wing who I met at a bodega. That's another story. A little Jerriana, she's adorable. She books all the time. And it's great to have kids there to help guide, because we can cover their blind spots. They just want to succeed as bad as anybody else in life. But when you can really shape them and mold them and to do the right thing, because you got to have their best interest at heart, and only have them do what they want to do. We only have so much bandwidth in a day, right? So when you see that they're reaching that limit, ease up and just relax. Everything isn't going to happen in a day's time. But just tell them, look, just pace yourself. Steady wins the race. And if you don't want to do this for a while, it's cool. We can just push pause on it. And when you're ready again, come on back to it. You're not forced to do it. We can go do something else if you want. But when you take the pressure off of them, that makes even us, we want to be more eager to do things, right? When it's like no pressure to it. I'm not here to do everything that Uncle Rico or everybody else wants me to do. I just want to do this portion, and I'm okay with that. So I just honor them for where they are. Yeah, I would say honor your kids from where they are.
This this is great again for protecting your peace, especially as parents, on how to navigate this for, their children that want to go into the entertainment industry. That was definitely a great question, Mike, and thank you so much for giving us that free insight,
Yeah.
Rico. And if anybody is aspiring to be in the industry, you can always reach out to Rico, who's tagged on the video here. But it's that time of the show, gentlemen, where we're gonna go into final thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, and we're gonna go back in speaker rotation, and the final thought segment really is just to kind of give that last hoorah, right? Talking about self care, and we talked about what does a day look like. We talked about hobbies. We talked about routines. So, in speaker rotation, Charlie, what are some of your final thoughts?
Well, it's final thoughts are things that go through my head all the time, but they're just never final because they continue on. But I think, everybody brought something really great to the table today. And, you know, Mike Chick, man, you were, pretty deep with some of the stuff and, going through the pain that you deal with on a daily basis. And I can understand there. I've been, not going to say in your situation, but limitations with pain I've had, in the past, and Rico, just the way that you're so giving, and to me, just from what I heard in what you said, you're very selfless, and but that still brings joy to you, and that's kind of a self care to you. I'm more. I'm blessed to have so much in my life and so many great people in my life, and my spouse and the people that I surround myself with. And, it's like I try to find something to do for myself once in a while, like maybe just relax. You know what I mean? Like, because I always seem to be on the go. Right. But I'll go get a mani-pedi or something, something for, or a massage, something for myself, so it's good. It's really important. And I kind of touched on this when I was doing these, a a few reels to lead up to our discussion tonight, but it's important to be good to yourself, because if you're going to be good for others and what you can do for someone else, you got to be good to yourself. We've got to be in the right frame of mind. We have to be just like comfortable in our own skin. And, for a lot of people, that's a battle every day. And, if you take that time to set aside for yourself. And one thing, I just want to touch real quick. One thing a boss told me a long time ago when I was young, I think I was like 16 years old, and I was maybe 17. And he was talking about, some things that kids don't really think about is managing money, and basically taking care. He says the one thing you want to do when you get your paycheck is pay yourself first. So to me, that's about being good to yourself, right? He says take 10% of your paycheck. It's not a lot, maybe not a lot, but 10% of your paycheck, do something for yourself with that. If it's for you and your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever, together, that's you. Do it for yourself. Make yourself feel good. Because if you feel good about yourself, like I said, you're going to be good to others. It's going to transpire and transpose onto the people.
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in one time. I was actually getting my pedicure, and I was, speaking with the girl that was doing my toes, and we had a really nice conversation. And she's like, I'm like, how's business been? Because she was like the owner, and she's like, real good, real good. She goes, I've just been having some issues lately. These credit card fees and things like that have really, been, really bogging me down. And I'm like, well, I just so happen to be in that kind of a business, with the credit card processing. So, and so it was good. We were able to open up and find out what it was that she needed. And like you, Rico, I helped her. I was able to say, okay, well, we can do this for you and help you alleviate those fees, And she was so appreciative. She goes, I didn't know I could do that.
That's so good. That is so
It just so it helped her. It helped
Giver's
me.
gain. You give that
Yeah.
information, and you can, yeah.
She
Thank
loved
you
it.
so much,
So,
Charlie. That
yeah,
was definitely
absolutely.
some great final thoughts, and it's always a pleasure to just speak with you. And I enjoy our one-on-one sessions, and you definitely brought some valuable information tonight. All
Thank
right,
you. My
Mike
pleasure.
Ciccarelli. Final thoughts. What are some of your final thoughts on today's show? And you did a great job. You kept it, PG-13. Yeah, you didn't even drop an F-bomb at all. You were behaved, man. I appreciate that. Oh, there you go.
Now, I'm just gonna make this, short. Charlie, appreciate all the health facts, and I know where you're coming from. Like I said, it's not easy, when you get older, and you're going through things in life, and your body just adjusts different, like
You guys are still kids here.
football.
You guys are all kids compared to me.
I used to. When I'm 50, what do you mean?
I'm 58 this year.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up. I just want when you listen to different people, like we all do different things, So it's like, I heard things that you do that that might help me, and like your breathing, I like that. I do it once in a while, but I don't do it every day like you should, and stretch every day like you're doing. I don't stretch every day, so maybe when I think of my surgeries, I'll start stretching. King, yo man, your clips are great. You gave a lot of good output to people, and to the kids, and it's amazing how you went from like department stores to doing commercials. It's like pretty cool, like like stores and stuff. Like these kids got to get off the computers and explore, and like he has his nephews, right? You said into commercials, and this guy's doing pedicures and manicures. I do pedicures and manicures actually, and it's very relaxing. People don't know that. You sit there, you get the massage, you put the earphones in, and you're on your way. And you know, I like that. I like those clips, King, man. I like what you do, man. Like,
Hey,
keep
Mike,
doing what you're
I
doing,
want to
man.
encourage you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep going live. Keep pounding the pavement. You learned some new
Yeah, man.
remedies as so as I did, and I'm sure everybody on this that was watching it,
You
did as
yo,
well.
you learn
We
something
got to
new
keep
every day,
ourselves humble,
man.
right? We can always learn every single day.
You learn something new every day. You're never too old to not learn. It's like
Mhm.
it's crazy, man. Life is just, it's like a roller coaster, man. My man up here, he's
And
going
it's
up
good
to
to
the top.
surround.
King is going like this. King ain't going like this. King's going like this.
That's
And
how you
this
do it.
guy, and Charlie's going like this all day. He's in a hospital. He's going like this. His heart with people, and it's going up, and it's going in, and come on, man, this guy's in a hospital, dude. Like people break down and things like this, and people, to work in a hospital, your mind has to be legit. Because if your mind is not legit in a hospital, you don't belong there.
It's true. True.
This guy's brain, when he
Sick.
wakes up, he can't go, oh, let me go to work today. Let me bring my problems to work. What's King gonna do? King's gonna go to work and say, I don't want to do a commercial today. I want to do a sit down. I want to do comedy. Nah, man, it don't work like that, man. And
It's true. It's true.
that's just
You
it,
got to push through, right?
That's it.
Fear says, a false emotion appearing real. So, that those were some great final thoughts, and I appreciate you being vulnerable and kind of sharing with us, Mike, on some of
Oh
your
yeah.
routines. And I'm gonna be checking in with you and kind of see if you're going on those walks and getting those stretches in. So, I hope you add those to your routine, Mike. But
Oh
I
yeah.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you
Closing
guys.
us in with the final thought segment, Rico King. Rico, you're a mentor, you're a brother. I always say that to you. Iron sharpens iron, and it's been a gift. What are some of your final thoughts?
I think I'll just leave with one that served me the most, and that's a healthy relationship with discipline.
Mm.
A healthy relationship, developing a healthy relationship with discipline. Discipline is the strongest form of self-love. It really is. It's ignoring current pleasures for bigger rewards to come.
I just got to chime on that because when I was in the military, and a lot of people don't know, but I was in the Marine Corps.
Thank you for
And
serving.
one of the things,
Thank
thank you. One of the things that our drill instructors taught us and instill in you is the definition. That's their definition to discipline is the instant and willingness and obedience to order. So that's
Yeah.
whether it's to somebody else, or yourself.
Yeah, it's loving yourself enough to give yourself everything you've ever wanted. So
Correct.
sometimes you have to have those things in place. Like, I love you enough to remind yourself, I'm not going to eat that today.
Yep.
Because we have a goal here.
Mhm.
And I love myself enough to know that I'm going to delay that goal more if I choose the instant gratification of this versus the healthy
Yeah.
option.
Mhm.
Even physical. It's the discipline of getting up at the time that you set. You said that you would get up at that time. Why don't you love yourself enough to actually get up at that time? Just do it. So things like that, when discipline starts to shift it from your immature type of way of looking at things to, I love myself enough to do this because I know I'm going to make this deposit into my life instead of a withdrawal. It's just a choice. So develop a healthy relationship with discipline.
Develop a healthy relationship with discipline. Well, you heard it all here, folks. I always like to close the show with a closing quote. This is brought to us by Queen Latifah. It says, "Be bold, be brave enough to be your true self." So I encourage you guys, go in grace, go in peace. Speakers, hang out with me in the afterglow. It was amazing. I hope you enjoyed it. Hashtag replay. When you watch it on the replay, engage with us. It's Anthony Rosa, Mr. Remedy. You're watching another show on the Roundtable Remedies. Peace, y'all.